there. We're all disappointed. I think all three phases had things on the field they'd like to do better. Obviously, defensively, we got to do a better job. We got to coach better and play better. And special teams, there's some plays out there that we need to do a better job of too. Offensively, those guys are trying really hard. I think they battled through against a really good defense. Certainly some plays out there that they wish they could have back too. But just in general, just a disappointing day for all of us. We knew on a short week we'd have to come out and try to, play well, play together, and do everything we could to win. Thought the guys worked through the course of the week, but, obviously didn't show up here today on Sunday. So we just need to go back to work, improve, try to get better, get everybody on the field that we can, and, try to get ready to go this week too. So it doesn't stop. It's still early in the season, but we got to start getting it going. So just take questions.
We usually want to see the film, but what did you think defensively was the biggest issue for you guys today?
Yeah, obviously they just did a great job, running the ball. They knocked us off the line of scrimmage. We got to get it coached better, and we got to play it better. And definitely got to tackle. There's some situations there we didn't finish the plays off. And he's a great running back. He's a strong runner. We know that. We know we can do a lot of things out on the field. We know how dangerous they are in the run game. And when you don't get that settled down, then the play action games and the balls downfield, those are really hard to defend. So. We got to do a better job of it, all the way across the board. Starts with me, and, we'll go from there.
I don't know what your expectations were coming into the year on the run defense, but what do you think of what you've done so far in comparison to that, and why do you think it has a little bit of an outlook?
Yeah. Well, certainly it's not where it needs to be at all. From that standpoint, it's got to be better. We got to be able to stop the run and just try to do everything we can to be consistent with that week in, week out. We have some really good plays where we get some negative yards and we stop the run from that aspect of it, and then some plays where we obviously don't. And we create some big seams and gaps in there that they're able to exploit. And until we get that fixed, we're going to keep seeing it.
Matt, do you have to look at personnel and/or schematic changes on defense?
We'll look at all of it. We look at all of it. We look at all the coaching. We look at all the scheme. We got a lot of different scheme that we can go to. We look at the personnel. We look at the technique. We look at everything, every aspect of it. Just try to make sure that we can settle down and get better at the fundamentals. That's really the biggest thing. We got to start with better fundamentals all the way across the board.
Do you think it's a talent thing at all? The level of talent on your defense?
No, I think let's start with just trying to be consistent in what we're doing. I think that's the biggest thing. So we got to coach that way.
You kind of already mentioned it. Fundamental is really important with the run defense, from leverage to tackling to all of it.
Yeah.
It's such a big emphasis for you starting all the way back in May. What do you think maybe the fundamentals aren't there right now for you?
Yeah, it is. It's the bottom line. You got to play with good fundamentals. I would say for us, we've talked about it a lot. Our pad level, things like that, hand placement, coaching points of it, all got to improve, and we got to be consistent. I think that's the biggest thing for us. There's a lot of inconsistencies all the way across the board, whether it's just our technique or the time on task or whatever it might be. We got to do a better job.
I know that things like pad level have been an emphasis for a long time now. Why do you think it hasn't been a thing that's so long?
I think again we're just I would say the consistency part of it is what's we got some good plays in there where the pad level's real good and the hand placement's real good and the coaching of it is real good, and some plays where it's not. And that's the part where we just got to put more emphasis on to be that consistent with it.
Yeah. Given the way you lost on Monday night and on the road, and you come back here, there's a lot of frustration, obviously, with the defense. And would it be fair to have expected the defense to come out with, a certain amount of passion, given what happened to them on Monday night, and were you disappointed that didn't seem to be?
I don't know if that's really kind of I don't know if that would be the narrative of it. I think obviously whatever happened on Monday was a disappointment for the entire team, and we got to do the best we can to regroup and get ready to go. Certainly from that aspect, I think what we got to do is stay focused on the task at hand, and make sure we stay focused in the moment. We can't let any frustration build up from previous games or previous situations. We can't let that boil over from coaching to playing, and we got to just move on. That's the biggest thing from those situations. We're going to have to get this film corrected, and we're going to have to move on and get ready for the Giants. We just have to always do everything we can to get it fixed or corrected or taught, and then do everything we can to go out that week, improve it, and then get to the next game and not let one game affect another.
Is there some examples where it's actually a good thing to take some of the frustration that happened and play it in, as opposed to treating every single week as it's a total blue state?
I don't think the frustration or any of the emotional part of the game is ever wiped out. I think there's emotion that's carried through this game from year to year, play to play, week to week. decade to decade. You know, I mean, if you're in it that long, you're always emotionally invested in football. You know, that's the great part of it. But from a rally cry or anything like that, it really, you just want to make sure that you're not focusing on or paying too much attention to the wrong thing. You want to make sure you're paying attention on the details for that particular week.
What sort of backbreaker was that, the 97 you ended up having the ball, sort of gathering the defense up after that? It just seemed like that. They didn't move the ball over their own, but it seemed like that. Sure. Was just a big body of bullets.
All of those are real difficult, but, we kind of get on to the next drive, in that situation and just stop them on the next time. I think for us, it's never a situation where we're in a game and we say, oh, that's it. We're going to compete all the way to the end and we're going to finish it off, which these guys do. This team wants to try to compete all the way through, which is great.
What was the explanation you got on the Coleman, the passing interference?
Yeah. So what they told me, obviously we'll take a look at it, but was that the ball had just left the quarterback's hand. So therefore, that's when the contact was made. So if it was still in his hand, then we would have been all right.
It wasn't about inbounds or out of bounds when the contact was, that didn't matter?
No, from the explanation that I was told is that, again, when the quarterback moves in that sort of manner and we're able to, jam those guys or move those guys, as long as he has the ball, which, he didn't. So as we jammed him out, he didn't have the ball. It had left his hand. That's what they told me.
The fourth down play at the fourth quarter was a critical one. Situationally, it seems like that's the right call to go for it. The play call itself, did they just have the appropriate, or I guess the right defense call to stop what you were doing?
I mean, they played it well. They played it well. Certainly in that situation, you got the option to try to, put them on a long field or try to go for it. And at that point in the game, just thought that, offensively, I thought we were doing a good job and wanted to, put it in that avenue. It's only a good call if it works. So, you can second guess it. Maybe we should have kicked it, put them on a long field or whatever. But in those situations, give them credit. Give them credit for making plays when they needed to in those moments.
That you guys like.
What happened on that long takes pass?
In the 4-minute situation at the end. I mean, he's obviously an extremely fast player. We're committed to stopping the run in that situation. We got to make sure they don't run the ball, and we're trying to do everything we can to get the ball back. And quarterback faded away just enough. We did have some pressure coming there, and he just kind of launched it. And Diggs was able to run to the spot. We obviously got to, we got to get on him. We got to get to the quarterback faster. Whatever that situation is. But we were definitely trying to make sure they didn't hand it off.
The field goal that you lined up for early on, were you trying to draw them offside? Were you going to kick that one? When you got the 15
that one was the one where, and then we punted.
Yeah.
That one. That might have been a situational thing that we were looking at there. Where we were just trying to see what we could do there.
Sorry, you're talking about the run play. Just talking. It's not the kind of situation you want to be offensively where you have that dual threat and that you're lacking right now. It's sort of a clear picture of the running plays right now offensively without being able to run the ball.
Say that to me one more time, Mike, please.
I'm ready to throw already.
Yeah, just a little bit louder.
What you were trying to do, you're clearly to stop the run. You have to stop the run. They can throw the ball.
Sure.
That's something you never had consistently. Isn't that something that's kind of straight in the offensively too?
No, those are really, that's a clock situation there as far as the end of the game, time management stuff that we're trying to do to make sure that we were maximizing as much time. Certainly in those situations, second down, it's always a tough one, and, you're alert, ready for them if they do throw it. There's a couple different passes that they run in those situations that we were ready for, but it was a one-man deal. They were all or nothing on that deal. So.
At the end of last year, you guys stopped the run as well as any team in the league. Now it's definitely down near the bottom. What has happened?
We talked a lot about it here. So I think for us, again, it's let's coach it better, let's play it better, let's do better with our fundamentals. That's what we did last year. It's the same thing. It doesn't really change. We just got to execute on the field better, and just keep committing to try to make sure we get that done because we got to do it.
Can you talk about really wholesale schematic? Even though you're not a big blitz pressure guy, is that when you start to maybe consider based on that?
We do what we got to do to win each and every single game. I think if you take a look at this game in its entirety, you'll see a lot more of what you're talking about than probably what we've done in the past. So, did it work? Did it not? We lost. So that's all that really matters.
Last question, just how concerned are you about
Carry on,
yeah.
yeah.
We saw him with the knee brace, and then the Ty Johnson, McKissick, those guys filling in for him.
Yeah, we're always ready. With Ty and JD McKissick, those guys work really hard in practice. Carry on. We'll see what that looks like tomorrow. that standpoint. You know, I saw him as he was walking out, just asked me if he was all right, and see he was going home. So talk to him tomorrow. Okay, good. Okay.
Walk us through that fourth down play. It seemed like that was a big turning point in the fourth quarter. And you guys weren't able to convert that one.
Yeah, we tried a little play action pass to the left. They played it really well. Kind of covered number 1, number 2, number 3. Tried to sneak one in there to JD, didn't work.
What was working with Marvin today?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of happened that way, you know. We just go play the game. I try to throw the ball where I think it needs to go. Marvin's doing a great job making some plays. You know, his first touchdown by no means that when I cut it loose was like going, oh yeah, touchdown, you know. He made a great play. Caught a couple in there tight, some contested catches, which was awesome. I was really happy for him. You know, wish I could have done more.
It seemed like you were upset with the hit near the end of the first half, the late hit, and then you hit Marvin for the touchdown right after that. How big was that sequence?
Yeah, it was big. 6 seconds left. They know we got to throw it in the end zone. You know, to be able to get it done, it's kind of an uphill battle for the offense. And that was a big play for us. Obviously, even the score back up, and we just weren't able to hold it.
What did you actually think of that hit? It looked like Barr did lower his helmet into you.
I mean, I got to go look at it on film. I know what it felt like. I don't know what it looked like.
It looked like you were hurting to that hit to me.
I'm good now.
What did it feel like?
Good hit. Good hard hit. High.
Obviously, you're not happy with the end result, but you guys talked this week about wanting to finish drives and be better in the rest of the fourth
Yeah.
in there. Do you feel better about what you did offensively today? That was pretty good defense over there.
Yeah, it's really good defense. I thought we did a nice job. I thought the guys up front played really well. You know, we had to score more than we did, and we didn't get it done. So, you know, there's a drive or two early on where wish I'd been a little bit better, and obviously, you know, in the second half, we needed to score more than we did.
What's it about the last 4 years? This is the fourth receiver again for this year for both. What type of witness here?
He's been great. Marv's, you know, a true pro, comes to work every single day, runs, does everything we ask him, shows up on game day, makes plays. Great guy in the locker room. Everybody loves him. So, you know, I'm just happy he's a Detroit Lion, my teammate.
Just 2 reaches, first touchdown, 4 games behind the Packers. What is that like? Just have skills that fast.
Yeah, I'm not measuring it. You know, I'm not measuring it. I don't measure the game when we're playing it. You got to go out there and try and score every time you touch it. Every time I step out on the field, I'm trying to win the game. So I'm not measuring, you know, where we are at this point. Obviously, want to win more games than we have, but at the same time, the biggest game's the next one. We got to go win the next one.
Matthew, you threw for 360 yards, 4 touchdowns until the late. The red zone efficiency, I mean, you had, by most measures, a really good game. You keep putting it on yourself. Why do you continue to put this loss on yourself?
Because the way the game was going, you know, the way the game was going, we needed to score more, and I wasn't able to get it done. You know, whether it was another one late or maybe one earlier, that kind of keeps it maybe a little bit closer later in the game. That's just how I am as a player. If we lose a game, there's a throw out there that I could have made that maybe helps us. And, you know, there are a few out there today that I obviously, you know, could have given us a chance.
Matthew, it looked like it got a little feisty out there at times on both sides. Do you think with the 2 weeks, the way last week was and this, that a little frustration boiling over at all for you guys? It would be natural if it was, that you guys felt that way?
I thought we were pretty clean on our side of the ball. I know our defense got a little feisty out there at the end of the game. It's a division rival. It's a team we see twice a year, every year. That's like the same guys every time. So everybody knows everybody, and I felt like it was good after the game. You know, sometimes in the game it gets a little heated.
Why is the running game not able to really get to that next level?
You know, I think, you know, we were close on a lot of them. You know, Carry-On was a little dinged up at some point during the game, and we had some guys step up and do a nice job. You know, I think the run game a lot is, you know, I thought we were decently efficient, but in order to have what everybody wants to call a great run game, you got to have some explosive ones, and those kind of help the average. You know, you're going to have some 2s and 3s in there, but if you have a 30 in there or a 25 or a 40 or something like that, it really helps the average. We just didn't get that done today, but by no means did I think that our run game was a minus for us today. You know, it picked up some. You know, a big 3rd and short, JD around the corner. There were some plays that we really needed in the game some second and longs that got us into third and manageable. We were able to run the ball well, which was huge for us.
Okay, 2 more guys. The fans booing the refs before the game, during the game on every call. Does that help, hurt, take away, distract, have any effect at all during the game for you?
I mean, it doesn't have any effect on me. I don't think it does on the guys on our team. You can ask the rest if it affects them. I don't know, but I think they're pretty used to it probably too. So I think, we just got to go play the game. I understand people are upset at certain times for whatever reason, but for us, what we can control is scoring, not letting them score, and we didn't do a good enough job of that today.
He's got 5 catches for almost 590 yards. 40 yards or nothing.
Yeah. He's done a great job. I mean, that catch he made today was great. It looked really good from a long way away, and I saw saw kind of the close-up picture of it. It was a great catch. I mean, contested over the shoulder, way down the field. I was happy for him. He's done some nice things in practice for us, and it showed up on game day.
Executed very well. Obviously, our game plan didn't stick very well when we could try to compete. But I feel like, my teammates, we came out to compete. I feel like, they fought to the end. And, there was a lot of effort out there. There was just a lot of plays that we left out there. We just got to go back and we got to make the correction. We can't continue to make these mistakes. I know I keep sounding repetitive, but we really got to get a control of this.
Well, certainly offensively, you guys were able to keep up with them early on. It looked like it might be a shootout, but their run game just really seemed to wear you guys down. How much of a factor was that today?
I mean, we couldn't stop the run. So the main thing is, like I said, I can't really go off of honestly, what y'all saw and what I saw is 2 different things. So when I go see the film, I maybe can see what was going on and what was the problem. But right now, I'm just going off of we just lost, and I just got to make the correction when I see the film.
How frustrating were the missed tackles? It seemed like you guys couldn't finish a lot of plays. You had them in the backfield and whatnot.
It's definitely frustrating because we work all week, trying to get the guy down, tackling, and we work technique all the time, so it's very frustrating when we had a day like this. But like I said, we can't sit back and be down about it. We just gotta learn from it. So.
Well, what about their play action was so tough to defend?
They definitely had a great run game, and because their run game was so great, it allowed them to have openings on the play action. So that's just what happened.
Tracy, you guys were expected to have one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Why do you think that hasn't been the case? What's been missing?
I just think, we just been leaving, like I said, plays out there. It's been a few miscues here and there, and it just makes us look that much bad. We play good defense, but, we give up a few big plays, and it makes the whole overall defense look bad. So, like I said, we just got to continue to cue in on those little mistakes that we're making, and we just got to continue to grow.
Yeah. The defense, Yeah, I mean, I don't think, either have we really controlled the game defensively. We couldn't stop the run, and it was kind of that's on us. And like I said, we got to go back to work and work a little harder on it.
Why do you feel like you guys have struggled so much against the run this year? Every game you guys have given up a run drive. Yeah.
We just got to work harder. I wish I could tell you, any key thing, but a lot of times, you can watch the film and point some fundamental things out. Obviously, tackling. Sometimes they kind of seep through. We have them in the backfield, but couldn't wrap up, or just run fish as far as playing technique, things like that. So, obviously you got to watch the film and see what it is we need to fix, and we got to fix it, and it's as simple as that.
Do you feel like you guys are blitzing enough?
I mean,
that's what you were brought in to do, and it seems like that's what
I mean, I'm not the DC, so whatever the call is, it's up to the players out there to make it happen, and it's up to us to play the technique right. It's up to us to go out there and make a play and stop them. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, today it was, it wasn't a lot of opportunities because, like I said, we didn't stop the run. So, anytime you don't stop the run, and they're running a lot of play action, it's like, we come, we play, we try to stop the run, but, now it's a play action pass, and, it's tough to get there on play action pass. Obviously, it's still our job to get there, but, I think we got to start off by stopping the run, and that's one of the big things we got to fix, and we got to earn the opportunity to rush the pass.
Were you hoping with last week's frustration, obviously everybody was upset with what happened with that game, that might have translated into an angrier game today?
You know, it is what it is. I'm not, you know, you don't really stand on emotions. You stand on fundamentals and hard work. So, you know, whether emotions were high or low today, it all goes back to the fundamentals that you prepare with. It all goes back to the technique and things like that. So it's just one of those deals that, you know, whatever happened last week, you can't let it carry over to today. So, you know, whether that's anger or sorrow, you just got to kind of prepare for that week, for that game. And, you know, we didn't do a good job executing that. So.
How confident, Trey, are you then?
Able to do it. It's all about doing it. It's all about preparing. It's all about focusing on the precision and the technique of things, and then, you know, when it comes down to it, just going out there making plays. So, you know, and everyone's in here capable of doing that. And like I said, we just got to go back to work and work harder.
Offensively, it's very frustrating, disappointing, and you know, nobody's coming to save us. We got to bond together on defense and figure this thing out, and you know, find ways to stop these offenses.
So, what do you think has been going on the first 5 games with the run defense? Because you guys were so good, you know, the second half of last year, and it hasn't been this year. What's missing? What aren't you guys doing that you did last year?
I'm not worried about last year, so I mean, it's a completely different team and all that, but I can't put my finger on what exactly. It's not necessarily one thing that is or isn't being done, but collectively we're just not getting the job done, and that needs to change.
Your coach has talked about, Matt has talked about run fits being a problem, head level being a problem. Do you see those as problems in the run game for you guys?
I mean, yeah, definitely, especially if the head coach is saying that. So that's something we'll see if that's the case from today. But regardless, like I said, they ran for almost 200 yards. I don't know what the exact numbers are. That's ridiculous.
So I guess how do you go about fixing things like pad level and run fits? I mean, it's been a number of games in a row now because it's struggled to do that.
Fundamentals and making an emphasis to, you know, get it fixed. You know, it's can't hide from it. Film doesn't lie. You know, and we all gotta bond together and get it fixed. And it's not one guy. It's gonna be all of us.
Did you guys talk at the time about the play action and the crossing patterns? And they were running a lot of the same plays over and over again to get their success. But they did them in the first half and they did them in the second half. Didn't seem to be a lot of adjustment.
Yeah, I don't know. You might want to ask one of the DBs. I'm not particular on that.
The injuries, I know you don't want to make any excuses for them, but what does it do to a defense when you lose Slay, you lose Snacks for a quarter? How tough is that to overcome?
I mean, it's definitely two of our better players defensively. That's not a good thing, but there's no excuse. We got a ton of talent on this defense, and we just need to play better.
When the coach came in after the game, what was the message moving forward?
You know, got to give them credit. They beat us, you know, and being a defensive guy, I look at the offense, and I think they scored 30 points. That's more than enough for us to win. You know, we got to be able to stop them. And there was at some point 3 or 4 drives in a row that they scored on us, and man, we got to get stops. This is what it comes down to.
That's got to be the most frustrating, knowing that they were able to win 30 points on the budget, the most points they've given up this season, and for you guys not to have that stop. But it seemed like the first half you were able to. They went toe to toe, and the second half seemed to kind of just go south in terms of not being able to stop Devon Cook or Stephon Diggs.
I mean, I don't think we stopped them in the first half or the second half.
Did you think by now that this pass rush would be more effective at this stage? Do you think it was going to grow as the season went on?
You know, it's been today was a lot of play action. So you know they're running the ball and then play action passing. So you know they scheme that up. You know it's definitely want to see more sack production and things like that. But you know you just got to keep working that as well and getting better.
I imagine you still like this team. I mean, you know, like what you guys are, what you guys can be, despite the last couple of weeks. But can you just explain why? Like, what do you see out there that gives you some confidence that maybe you can that you guys can fix this, turn this thing around?
I still feel like we can play with anybody in this league, and you know we've shown it at times, but we got to be more consistent and you know
take control of games defensively. Like for me, you know, I don't really worry about the offensive side of the ball, but I feel like we're not playing our best defensively, and if we do so, I think you know, we could beat anybody.
Way back when. So I think about that, you know, when I'm old.
How disappointing is it that you guys start fast, you know, again, you have your touchdowns, you guys get your points, and the second half is just a different story.
You know, it's just us, you know. We have to get out of the way of us, and you know, we'll do that. You know, obviously, you know, we started fast and had some good plays, and we've responded and stuff like that. But obviously, you know, we fell short. But we have all we could do is just work. So go back to the drawing board. You know, fix what we need to fix, and you know, play a complete game.
What do you feel like was working well for you?
I think we're just, you know, we had some success, you know, going down the field, and especially when we needed it, you know, when we needed it at times we went in and punched it in, you know, so it was what it was.
Frustrating is just knowing what happened last week, come in and then put up 30 against the Vikings, which hasn't been done all season, and that, like the frustration.
Well, the NFL is tough, and we know that. You know, we can't feel sorry for, you know, for ourselves. We know what type of game it is, and we just have to execute. You know, we do that, control what we could control, and then we'll be in good shape. You know, but we have to do that. You know, for 4 quarters. Yeah, so I think we will.
I don't know if could you just talk about your day specifically, the 4 touchdowns, which is the single most since I think 1950.
Yeah, it was cool. You know.
I mean, it's important in what you did, but not getting the win, is it not as sweet? Or?
Yeah, well, we want to win. You know, the personal accomplishments, you know, they come. You know, they come. You know, when you play this game, you've been in the game for as long as I've been, but at the same time, we're in it to win. You know, so yeah, that's just something for me. You know, to put a football up and, you know, when I'm old, say, hey, look at that. You know.
Is it when you were right there with the Packers, you're right there today, you guys scored a lot of points again. Is it encouraging, or is it something that you don't even want to think about, that, you know, loss doesn't matter, a mile is as close as a...
I would say it's just something that we know. We know we're a tough team. You know, we know we're physical. We know we have stamina. You know, we know that. You know, but we just have to. You know, it doesn't matter if we don't pull it out. But we just have to focus and not beat ourselves and go on. But, you know, not taking anything from the Vikings or, you know, anything that happened in the past. You know, they outplayed us today, and they won the game. So we just have to work.
Pretty limited in his production today. How did that translate to opportunities for you? Were they playing him a little more aggressive than you usually see defenses do, or?
We just go out there however they play. You know, we just go out there and do our stuff. You know, run our routes. You know, try to make as many plays as we can. So that's just what it is.
Personnel, the time, the situation.
Respecting anything, you know, and they was able to execute a big play.
Justin, what did they tell you on the pass interference in the end zone? What did they tell you happened on that play?
So I pushed him when the ball was in the air.
Did you feel like he had gone out of bounds on his own?
I'm not sure. I wasn't able to watch it.
What do you think's been ailing this defense as a whole this year? I mean, a lot of people thought you guys were going to be top 10 in the NFL. It hasn't been there through 6 games. What do you think's going on?
We just got to execute better. That's it. Play a little bit harder and give a little bit more.
Is it fixable? I mean, you think you still have what you need to be that top 10 player?
Definitely fixable. You know, I feel like we're getting better every week, and you know, teams are looking to expose certain coverages that we play, but you know, that's why we got to execute better and just go out there and. Yep.